Welcome back. Well, with after school activities ramping up again, you might be having a hard time carving out family time. Well, Michelle Ethery, the owner of Fullwell Counseling and Neurofeedback, joins us now with some tips on how you can connect as a family, even when everyone has a busy schedule. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me, Claire.
So I find this, especially with our family. I know you and I we both have children about the same age, and it starts to get hectic this time of year, right?
Yes. As we start into the fall and as activities and sports and everything start up, you start to run out of, I guess, real estate as far as time goes, right? Like you run out of time. It's not as natural to just be hanging out together as a family unless you count like running around and playing sports, hanging out.
Yeah, right. First of all, talk about why it is important to have that family time as a unit.
It's one of those things where sometimes we forget. We kind of think, oh, we'll connect again later or we'll do this again later. But actually, those small moments are what add up, right? Like that's really what adds up to relationships. That's what adds up to like us modeling to our kids how to behave and how to live and how to deal with things. And if we don't have space for that, then we're less likely to have space for things like the questions they might ask when they really need to ask them.
All right. So, what are your tips on how we can connect with having a busy schedule?
Well, there's some really simple ones, right? One, we can eat together. And that doesn't have to mean you have a fancy meal at the table. That could mean, we've had Jimmy John's on the back of the truck before baseball practice, right? But if you eat together, it's something you can communally do together. Taking walks, that's a really easy thing. Maybe at the end of the day, you get home and you walk for 10 to 15 minutes. Taking a break from technology, just saying, all right, everybody, technology down for 30 minutes. You have to find something to do with each other if you're going to do that.
Yeah.
Homework together. Sometimes this doesn't even mean doing the homework with them. It can mean you working on something while they're working on something. But if you're doing it together, that can be really connecting. And then you're there if they have questions. Some families are game families, and you can play some games together. We like playing Scrabble on occasion, or some other card games or things like that that my kids will play with us. Taking a rest day, having days where you don't go and do and have all the activities, like maybe once a month at least, like getting a day where you're like, you know what, we're going to be at the house and we're going to hang out together and we're going to be at, the neighborhood pool, whatever. Um, Use car time. We're always in the car, right? It's
Mhm.
so easy for us to be able to say, okay, hey, how are you doing? Which kind of leads into the next one, asking questions. And this can be more like, you could probably say asking more intentional questions, right? Instead of saying, "Hey, how was your day?" and they say, "Fine," or like mine do, you could ask, "Hey, who did you have lunch with today?" Or "What did you learn about today that was interesting to you?" Or "Was there anything you did that you didn't enjoy?" Like asking some more specific questions that open up conversation.
Oh, those are some great tips. Hopefully a lot of our viewers, I know I can take from all of that as well. I'm gonna put the list back up on the screen right now. What, you were talking about the doing the homework together and then playing the games. I mean, out of all these, what is your go-to? What do you feel like is super important? How you can connect the most with your kids?
I think I like car time. I think that's really good. The car and the asking questions together is really good, right? Like we can be in the car, and if there's no technology or noise or music, that leaves space for us to interact. And I can
Mhm.
ask questions, and they will interact with me about things. And I find that's when they trap me with the most difficult questions too, is when we're in the car. But at least I'm looking forward and driving, and I don't have to. We're not face to face for it, so it's
Yeah.
actually a really good time where we already have that time built in, right? And if I just take
Mhm.
away the distractions, then it's good time for us to potentially connect.
All right, Michelle Essery, the owner of Fullwell Neuro Counseling and Feedback. We appreciate you being with us today. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Claire.